Normalcy comas is when you see things and you don't believe what your eyes are showing you. And people do that. So I need to see what's coming through that door. And it's important to me because I'm just a protector by nature. So
You are.
I'm going to always be on the lookout.
How do you approach teaching self-defense in a way that builds confidence without overwhelming participants? We have to do better. And in order to do better, you have to know better.
Yeah,
So they're going to leave your session knowing better.
knowing better and being able to implement it and teach it. Once they have the information, they can give it to their children, their daughter. Like I said, the lady that's out in public walking with her 3 kids behind her probably will stop doing that. Start paying attention to things that are around.
Welcome to another episode of Money Motivations with Meltrice, also known as M Cubed. Today I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing my boo, my husband. I get to interview my babe today, and we're going to be talking about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, which is safety for women. So let's get right to it. Hi, baby.
Hey, baby.
Welcome to Money Motivations with Meltrice.
Happy
I'm
to be
happy
here.
to have you.
Happy to be here.
So this is a topic that's near and dear to your heart as well. We talk about it all the time. You always, are on me about not paying attention to my surroundings and how this is an unprecedented time for women that are being abducted and being human trafficked and everything like that. So I really wanted to bring this topic to the forefront for the conference this year. This year, I really want to talk about a little more than just finances. I want to talk about the whole woman. And I thought, who is best to talk about this than my husband, who's a licensed firearms instructor,
Right.
and who is constantly in my ear about being diligent about my own safety. So I want to get back to it. Anything you want to say?
I'm glad we're having this conversation because I've been wanting to have it with you for a long time.
All right, so let's have
long
it.
time.
So let's start with your why. You've had a remarkable journey from serving in the Navy to leading at the Cleveland Metro Parks to teaching self-defense courses. What inspired you to start teaching women and individuals in general about personal safety and self-defense?
Well, my why, especially as it concerns women, is because number one, I'm a protector. And once I educated myself, I wanted to be able to give that to everyone around me, especially you and everybody connected with us, our family, our friends. If I have that knowledge, then I want them to have it because I want them to be safe. So there's so many factors that go into self-defense. And, this is dating myself, but G.I. Joe used to say, knowing is half the battle. They used to have this little skit during the cartoon. All the old heads understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, so knowing is half the battle. And so when you know stuff, then you start making little adjustments in your life to just make yourself safe because it's your responsibility. Your safety is your responsibility. Everybody has a protector in their lives. Most women do, or they say they do. Their husband, their brother, whoever. So they kind of don't protect themselves because, oh, my husband got me. Well, your husband ain't around all the time. So you got to protect your husband from doing something crazy by protecting yourself. So that's kind of my mission. I want people to just have information. Some of that information, especially as it pertains to African American women, just find a white woman, see her, and think, I am 6 times more likely to be murdered than that person.
Wow.
So, and that's real data you can pull up anywhere, and nationwide, it's like 271,000 women abducted, and 36% of them are African American.
Wow.
And African American women only make up 14% of the population of women in this country. So when you start looking at that stuff, you start understanding that you are a target. And you have to understand that, and you have to start adjusting your movements in life just so that you don't become another statistic. So I want to educate women on that, our women, our black women in particular, because you need to understand that, unfortunately, you are a hot commodity,
Wow.
in the trafficking arena, or just somebody who wants to kidnap. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing because nowadays everybody's distracted. Distracted driving is at an all-time high. Distracted walking is at an all-time high. I see people all day, every day, just not paying attention to their surroundings. So women need to know this so that they can protect themselves and their children. Because how many times have you walked into a parking lot, say a department store? I see it daily. There's a woman walking, got 3 kids in tow, everybody on the phone. She on the phone, kid number 1 on the phone, kid number 2 on the phone, kid number 3 on the phone. How you gonna know if somebody snatched your child?
And most of the time, their kids behind them, so because they so
They're
busy
behind
walking
them.
in front of the
Yeah,
kids.
they are. They are. And just start picking up on stuff like that. You'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, you could go today and go somewhere and just notice that. They're soft targets.
We didn't even realize how much of a distraction having mobile phones would be, social media would be.
Oh, man.
People spend most of their time. I know you say it all the time when we're in a car together, when people are veering outside of their lane, you're like, they on the phone, and it really frustrates you, but it's dangerous.
They on the phone.
Can you get out of the phone for 1 minute and just be present and just be aware? And I mean, you said you made it so relevant. Like, we are a target. If you don't think about anything else from what you just said, think about the fact that black women are a target. So we are the highest population of women being abducted and trafficked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we still choose to do what? Have our heads in the phone, continue to be distracted, and not aware of our surroundings. And sometimes I give myself a break because I'm like, my husband got it. But if I get into, I've gotten into that habit where now I don't even do it because I've gotten used to not doing it.
You're so used to being the passenger princess everywhere we go. I know it. I already know what mode you in when we go travel is you off in your world, and I got to watch your back. And I know. And usually I just want you to just have your fun, be happy. So I'm doing it. I'm shouldering all the stress because I do. Because I understand my surroundings, because I dive into this stuff all the time. I got a stack of magazines over there with Concealed Carry Magazine and Shooting Illustrated and all this stuff, and they tell stories in them.
And these are real stories.
They're real stories. And they tell stories of what happened to people during, abductions or attempted abductions and incidents with firearms and stuff like that. So I read a lot of it. I process a lot of it. And it's not a big deal to me because it's just in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Airports in particular can be dangerous because if you look at it, if you think about baggage claim, anybody can go in and out of baggage claim. You don't have to have ID. You don't have to have nothing. As soon as you walk out that door, somebody can snatch you.
Yeah.
And it happens. I've read it happening. They stalk people at the airport.
I'm surprised at how many children I see by themselves.
They look for 'em.
Where is your mother or father?
They look for women who are traveling alone and children.
So, babe, I remember this was a recent conversation we had with one of our friends. He was questioning your desire, matter of fact, your unwillingness to sit with your back turned to the door when we just went to dinner. And what he said was, statistically, where we are right now, the chances of something going down is like 3%. And why do you even care about having your back to the, I mean, you guys had this in-depth conversation, and I was impressed by your response. So why is it so important for you to go everywhere you go, scan where you are, know where people, who's there with you, know where the exit signs are, have your face, have your body positioned toward the exit sign? Why is that so important for you?
Because knowing where the exits are and being positioned to where you see threats come in is important for you to get out of there. That's the only way you're going to process that information that comes through the door. You have to process that person. I mean, sometimes you won't know, they won't have guns blazing, but if something seems like it's a threat and I perceive it as a threat, I need to know where the exits are because I'm with you or my family or whatever, anybody that I love or like that I'm with. I need to know where the exit is so that I can get them to it because I don't want to be in a normalcy coma. And I teach that in my class. Normalcy comas is when you see things and you don't believe what your eyes are showing you. And people do that. So I need to see what's coming through that door. And it's important to me because I'm just a protector by nature. So
You are.
I'm going to always be on the lookout, and it doesn't cost me anything. It costs me an extra 5 seconds, for me
do
because
your scan.
I do it so much, it just comes second nature. So by the time we start a conversation, I've already processed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just easy for me to do. And people who think it's a heavy lift just haven't practiced it.
Yeah.
And once you practice it, you be like, oh, it's really not that big a deal.
Yeah.
I'm really not spending that much time worrying about being hurt or anything like that. And it's not taken away from the moment. Once you do it and you've done it, then it's done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once I'm done, and I'm off to enjoying the moment and my family and you and everything else. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not a big deal. I just take it upon myself as it being my responsibility, you know.
Yeah. So your session is titled Savvy and Secure. Safety starts with you. What can women expect to walk away with after attending your class at the conference? And why is it so critical that we as women prioritize safety preparedness?
They can walk away with new processes in their mind. I think it's a rewire, a reprogramming, and it's kind of what you do. You are rewiring these women's brains. I know it sounds a little harsh, but it is. It is. You have to change the way that you
mindset,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to change your mindset. If you want to be safe. Now, once you have this information, those statistics, I'm going to pull up a whole bunch of statistics and numbers that are just going to have your eyes pop
I mean,
out.
the ones you just said shared had my eyes popping
Yeah.
out. Like, wow.
Yeah.
You had never shared those statistics with me before.
They're in my head. And even ones like Cuyahoga County and Ohio is like, Ohio. Did I say anything about Ohio yet? I just
No.
said nationwide. I think Ohio, is 12.5% black. It's 43% of all missing persons are black.
Wow.
So that's so jacked up.
Yeah.
Like we only consist 13%.
I don't know.
Yeah, 13%. That's what I just said. Anyway, yeah, it's the numbers are so skewed towards us being this hot commodity for kidnappers.
Yeah.
So we have to just understand if we want to be safe, or we can just walk around with our head in the clouds and
Aloof.
yeah, and
people
just
wanna
not worry
stay.
about it.
Yeah.
And hey, ignorance is bliss until somebody grab you.
So they're gonna walk away with a rewiring or a different way of processing the world around them.
Absolutely. it's situational awareness is one of the key things I key in on, and I'm actually going to go into some scenario based training to where I'm gonna just give them some tools to implement if they're in a situation. You know, and the best fight is the one that you can avoid. So if you can avoid fights, you can avoid a bad situation. That's what I want to give you tools for.
Yeah. You, husband, you bring such a unique blend of calm. I always say you're the calm to my storm because I'm always in a storm.
Yeah.
My life is a storm. But you bring such a unique blend of calm, confidence, and authority when you teach, when you engage in life, just in every day. How do you approach teaching self defense in a way that builds confidence without overwhelming participants, especially those who may be brand new to this? And I will say, like, the statistics that you just said and the reality of what we see every day, the world is distracted. Women are distracted. And so, how are you going to build confidence with the women that you'll be teaching at the conference?
A confidence builder is a tool. Say, for instance, a firearm. When anybody walks around with a firearm, they have a little bit more confidence that they would not have had without it. So, tools in their toolbox should give them confidence. The information they'll be armed with, the tactics that they'll be armed with, that type of new information, you can't even put a price tag on.
Oh, I agree. I always say knowledge is the new currency. Like, you have to have knowledge. You cannot keep walking around. One of the guests in one of the other episodes said, we have to do better. And in order to do better, you have to know better.
Yeah.
So they're going to leave your session knowing better.
Knowing better. And being able to implement it and teach it. You know, once they have the information, they can give it to their children, their daughter. Like I said, the lady that's out in public walking with her 3 kids behind her probably will stop doing that. You know, start paying attention to things that are around, and just do things differently. Like, for instance, I have this app on my phone that, and this is just, everybody's not going to do it because they don't want the information, because I have an app on my phone that tells me about incidents in your neighborhood, things that happen. They even tell me about domestic violence in the neighborhood. So you kind of know your environment when you walk in. So everywhere I go, sometimes I just click it, just so I have an idea of what I'm up against. It's not a telltale sign of everything that's going to happen, but it gives you the trend of that community, that neighborhood. So you just kind of be aware of what's around you.
Yeah.
And I do it, and I'm that person.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if everybody's going to do that, but I mean, at least I can give them what I use. It's just another tool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them a tool like that, and so that they're not walking blindly into a bad situation.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I mean, I think that's a good segue into my next question about instincts and situational awareness. Like, you are really good at, like, oh, babe, watch that. I'm like, oh, I didn't even see that coming, right? And instincts, being able to tap into your instincts and being aware of the situation and your surroundings is really important. And you often say, trusting your instincts is key, right? So can you share an example or scenario that brings that to life for everyone that's listening?
Trusting your instincts is, I mean, it can be a spiritual thing, your discernment, your spiritual discernment. If you're somewhere in the dark, you can feel somebody near you. It may be completely scientific, like their magnetic force or whatever, and we do have that. But believe what you feel. That tap on the shoulder, I know my sister Sharice, that's one of her things. That tap on the shoulder, that spirit, your Holy Spirit. You know, when it taps you on the shoulder, when you have that little eerie feeling, the hairs on the back of your neck, that chill you get down your spine, don't ignore it. That's your spirit telling you something's off. So believe it. When you feel like this something don't feel right in this room I just walked in, believe it.
We've done that a couple times. We walk into a restaurant or a club, and you like, yeah, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah,
And we like, you're not feeling it? Let's go.
yeah. Sometimes you just don't feel it, and maybe nothing happens.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, there's stuff happening, and I see it because, like I said, the app tells me stuff happens here, and if I feel it, I should probably leave.
Yeah.
And that's what I want people to understand is just believe what your eyes see, believe what you hear, and
But
believe what your
you
spirit.
feel. Yeah.
Believe what it tells you.
Yeah.
Feel that tap on the shoulder and do what it tells you to do.
That's good. I love that. So, okay, outside of the uniform, you're a husband, a father, a grandfather, a brother, a son, a protector, my protector.
That's right. Sheepdog.
What message do you want the women listening, and maybe even the men in their lives, to hear about the role we all play in creating safer communities?
We all have.
Safer. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start over on that question.
Okay.
Outside of the uniform, you're a husband, you're a father, you're a papa, you are a son, a brother, a friend, you're a protector, you're my protector. What message do you want the women listening, and maybe even the men in their lives, to hear about the role we all play in creating safer communities?
It is all of our responsibility to create that safer community, and it's one person at a time. It's your family. It's your extended family. It's your cousins, your friends. It falls to all of us because nobody else is doing it. Especially in our community,
That's right.
it is our responsibility because nobody cares about us like us. And it is part of the problem that we have not in the past cared for our community, cared for our people, I mean, unapologetically, because it has a trickle down effect. Even the way things are covered in the media, they don't necessarily cover everything that goes on in our community. So it doesn't get the attention that it normally would in others' community, you know. Did you know there was this might be going off, but no, there's a thing called missing white woman syndrome. Did you know that?
No, I've never heard
So
of it.
it's a thing where the media covers more missing white women than any other. It's an actual thing. It's an actual syndrome.
I'm not
It's so
surprised.
bad that they had to name it. So, and that's what it's called. You can look it up. It's on Google. Google got everything, but you can look that up, and it's an actual thing.
Wow.
So they're not going to cover what's going on so that you know what's going on. So it's up to us to teach each other about our own safety. Because like I said, we're a target.
Yeah.
Black people in general are a target. Black children, black women. The women need to be aware so that they can teach their children. The men need to be aware so that they can adequately protect their families. Now, because a lot of men don't have the tools.
Yeah.
You know, they want to protect, but they don't have the tools. So firearms education is a big part of that. You know, in other communities, it's not so taboo. It used to be taboo in our community. I remember growing up, everybody thought guns were bad.
Yeah.
They're evil and they do nothing but kill. But in other communities, they're teaching their 9-year-olds.
Oh, every time we go to the
The gun range.
The gun range.
We see little
I
kids
see a
out there.
we see 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds in others community, and here we are teaching our children that they're bad as opposed to how to adequately use them to protect themselves.
It's not all about a gun.
Right.
My class is not all about a gun. It's about being safe with the gun. So people that are afraid of guns, they gain confidence in my class. So because of just the way that I do things, it's not a carbon copy, black and white version of what I was taught to teach. I integrate what I think my students need, because most of my students are African American. I want to give them those extra tools.
Yeah.
So they're getting that. So the message is education around safety and firearms is extremely important. So and that's what I want to give back.
Well, I'm excited about your course. I feel very safe. I
hope so.
I feel lucky that you're my husband and that you're my protector.
Yeah.
And everybody, you will get a chance to hear his full class at Women Creating Wealth's conference, August 15th through the 17th. And anything, where can people find you? Okay, they can come to the conference to find you, but what if someone wanted to take one of your courses? Where can we find you?
I got social media. Social media is Boyd Sharp or Warhammer 10,005 on Instagram. That's what I got right now.
You have a website?
I do got a website, don't I? What is that? Sharpgroup.com?
Yes.
That's what it is.
Sharpgroup.com.
Sharpgroup.com.
So you heard it. Come check us out August 15th through the 17th. Thanks for tuning in.
You're so
We'll
pretty.
see you next time. Love you.